So in the meantime, while Samson's having a bit of a panic, and also thinking that these things might actually be more of a threat than anyone is going to let
Yeah, no.
normally.
The reason I asked if Kiel and Nim chimed in, because Nim was gonna ask, are those things dangerous?
Torino or Samsung?
I
Both?
know.
Those? No. Easy enough to swish. But, you know, that, as he points to the nearest giant green bowl in the distance. Um, well, might have to call an army. Hence why we're avoiding them.
Oh, so we're avoiding them. You know what? That's a good thing.
Nim asked, do you want me to just, like, burn the things behind us?
Fireball.
I did. It kind of
That
just
sounds
looks
like it would bring more problems than it would fix.
loud explosions or heat expenditures may actually cause more issue than not.
The freeze 'em got it.
I mean, I have an ice spell. A ray of frost those little bastards.
You know, actually, is there any way I could get closer to the sand without leaving Lily?
You could try and stand on one of her sides.
Can I try that?
Yeah, sure, it's just walking around Lily.
No, I mean like get like close down to it.
Like, how close down to the sand?
I want to
Yeah, hold
scoop
your
some
legs.
sand into something.
Probably not unless you manage to cling onto her leg.
Tie a rope around yourself and have somebody hold it.
Oh, I know. If I go to Lily's mouth, can I have her hold me like by her mouth while I go to scoop some sand?
You could also ask Nim to mage hand the sand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. You know, that is way smarter than I
I'm
thought.
really curious what Jade thought it was.
We've moved on.
Just
Nope.
DM it to
No,
me.
we haven't.
I'm not.
Why
anywho,
not? Can you give me
I'm
the
going
first
to
letter?
ask. Hey, shut your stupid face, doofus master.
5 psychic damage.
Okay. I'll negate it with my negative intelligence.
Fine, -5 to intelligence.
Samson just brain dead.
Samson's Remy now.
So,
Samson!
Does-
Samson! Samson!
Samson asked Nim for mage
yeah.
hand.
I'm gonna give her like a little bit of the canvas, and I'll be like, I'm a little curious at something. Nim, you think you can scoop up the sand from the desert?
Yeah.
And put in just this little pouch?
Alright, and then we'll cast mage hand and hand it to the hand, and he will proceed to scoop up sand as we walk by. By, like, dragging the pouch on the ground. Until
And
it's
then just
full.
bring it back to Samson?
Yeah.
Alright, so now I have a bag of this desert sand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pull out one of the pouches of the sand that I got from the beach when we first landed, and I want to try to compare the two.
Ooh.
Nerd.
He's in fact not.
I think that would be a nature check, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of. This is probably what I'm gonna spend like the rest of the day doing, if it like proceeds to yield any like results.
All right.
And Nim help?
If you want to provide additional analytical skills to him, then sure.
Yeah.
So, then I would say both of you roll me a nature check, and you'll spend the rest of the day doing that.
Can I just give her advantage on it instead?
No, not this time.
I mean, if Nim's helping, it would be more so that she has the bulk of the knowledge.
Well, let me explain.
I mean, like, if...
let me explain why no. Your numbers, I'm going to take them and add them together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why no.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting, but okay, sure.
So
I'm a sand expert.
I'm a Sandman. I'm the Sandman.
Bring me a meme.
Make it the greatest that I've ever seen. Give me some brains.
What do we see about the sand?
Well, with your combined score of 29, you see that the color is definitely different. This is much more, how you say,
Different.
Sandier.
Grainier? Finer?
Let me think!
Pinkier?
Whereas the sand on the beach was almost like tanner, and it might have some bits of shells, this is definitely more akin to like what you see in Varisis, which is just wind-eroded rock. So it's coarser, it's sharper, it feels less nice.
It's coarser and rougher and it gets everywhere more.
Yes.
It gets everywhere.
Everywhere.
Does this sand still maintain, like, is it hotter? Like, if I let them sit for a bit, like, in their own containers, does the desert sand stay hotter?
No.
So, like, they even out?
Yes.
Okay.
Simpsons lost it, man.
The sand holds a secret.
And, this is gonna be a really weird thing, but I'm gonna take some of the sand and I'm just gonna, like, take, like, a pinch of it and just sort of sprinkle, like, a bit of the sand onto the, Atom knife. See if it does anything.
It does nothing.
Alright,
do
so
an
besides
arcana
the
check.
texture, is there anything else?
The greens are inert. Is there anything else? Like, what do you mean?
I don't know, is there, like, really much of a difference, or are these just outside of those immediately, like, perceivable like, those immediately different characteristics, is there anything else to go by?
Do they taste the same?
Yeah, you gotta eat the sand. Also, does it have any magic properties that Nim would know?
Eat the same.
Trying to think if there's anything I'm not thinking of. No, I can't think of anything that would stand out of note besides the fact that this sand just seems to be like aged and wind eroded versus the other one seems more like sand you would expect from, you know, water erosion.
What the hell is water erosion?
Yeah, exactly, hence why I don't make a bigger point of it.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is a beach?
What the
So-
hell's a beach?
I guess all that's left is for Nim to check if it's any magical.
I already said nah.
Oh, okay.
I guess I wasn't loud enough.
Weird. And after
Yeah?
that, he's just gonna dump the sand out, like, behind Lily.
But your pocket sand attack.
I already got sand for that.
And as you dump out the sand, the posses, like, try and avoid it. They're still skittering behind you.
Well then. Oh, that's boring.
Kiala, roll me perception.
Woo!
'Cause these two sand nerds are doing sand nerdery.
Woo! There's Kiala with her perception.
Love to see it.
So, your ears twitch, and you look out in the
On
distance
TV.
in front of Lily. Off to the... Shut up, Ed! Oh my god! Oh, you hurt me!
Pug.
So your ears twitch, and you focus in, and you hear the rustling of sand. And out in the distance, I'd say a good 100 feet, you see you see 3 sandcacklers pop up. But you definitely, now that you're focusing, picking up on a few more, so you think there may be maybe 5 or 6 that you don't see. And they're all coming straight for you.
Oh,
Off from, like, your northeast direction. So right front.
Okay.
Fireball?
She'll get up and be like, "Are you two done looking at the ground?"
Huh? Yeah, wow, what's up?
She'll just point.
What, more sand?
no, what's on the sand, you dipshit?
Dude, say that out loud.
She thought it.
It's
Samson's
a lot
doing
of
his
things.
best. I fully appreciate it. Nim's gonna look, and I assume she sees the sandcackler.
Yeah, when Kiala points it out, do we see it?
You see the 3 that are above the ground running at you.
And then she'll mention, like, I'm sensing 5 or 6, if not more.
Rhino, buddy, you resting for the day, or you want to help us out with some sandcacklers?
And you look over to him, you say that, and his head's just turned in the entirely opposite direction.
That's concerning.
And he just starts, like, moving back towards you, because he's sitting up in front with the reins with Lily.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts moving back, and he's just keeping his eyes locked on the left. And he reaches over, and he just goes to reach out for Nim, grab her, and, like, pull her to sit her down in the center of Lily.
Okay,
And then-
I'm in danger.
And then he goes to move over to you, Samson. And he goes to do the same, still not looking at you. So
Hey there, buddy, what's
Yeah,
up?
I won't fight him on it.
and
I
then
don't think he's trying to kill us yet.
then he reaches up and goes to do the same with Yala.
Kiala bite.
She's just gonna say, "Don't touch me."
He's not even gonna say anything. He's still just like pulling you down to set you down next to the rest of them.
You good there?
And you just see him raise his other hand to his lips, and he just goes, and he just tugs on Lily's reins, and she comes to a full stop. And now that Lily is like light trotting, that you become so accustomed to his quiet, it starts to all kind of draw to a silence. And you hear the sandcacklers making their noise in the distance, but you also hear way out in the... Well, roll me a perception. Let's see if you do pick up on it.
Okay, cool.
Which means, Yala, you roll me another perception too. Okay, you did.
Oh, well then.
So, you start listening and you look over, and out in the distance, more than like 200 feet away, you see just sand getting kicked up. And you don't know by what, but it's coming fast. It's not coming at you, but you see 200, 150, 100, and as it gets closer, you just start hearing. And
I get the bells checked.
roll me stealth. Just like a thudding, a slamming into the ground.
Alright.
Wait, we're rolling stealth?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the... There he
Man,
is.
if only I could roll well.
Yeah, if only.
Well, I'm concerned if I did well enough. Hold on a sec.
What's the formula for a stealth roll so I could have Rhino do one too?
It's dexterity.
It's just a dexterity throw with the normal
With
modifier.
any, normal modifier, any proficiencies.
Yeah, so that should be sufficient to hit that.
The Rhino.
The Rhino! Yeah, so 20, 20, 18, and 3. Or 13!
13.
13!
Is that enough?
Yeah, we'll say that's enough. Barely enough, but you managed to scrape by.
Nim, shut up!
Gosh,
Yeah,
man, you're
I
breathing so loud.
imagine Nim being like, what's going on? And then all three of them
He's
just
like,
take their hands and cover her mouth.
Oh, I didn't realize this was a quiet place.
I've never seen that movie.
So as the sand
I heard it was
cacklers
okay.
get
I've been
close,
recommended it recently, which by someone I did not expect.
yeah, as the sand cacklers get close, you see the closest dune to you just split in half as a massive just lump of sand comes through. And I gotta change the bot over for a second. Ah, shit. No, I didn't want to do that. And you just hear a deep, very booming just... as a huge hand of sand just comes down on all three of the sand cacklers that were above ground. And you just hear them go... "Ah!" And a
Wow, the head
crack.
is still there.
The what is? No,
The
it's
head.
Get rid of
Oh
it!
my gosh, we haven't been moving at all.
Ah,
Shush you!
That
Yeah.
would be such a trippy turn of events.
Oh god.
Like, wait, we haven't moved?
So a massive hand comes out of this thing, and you just hear the sound of cracking bones, tearing flesh, and yelping sand cacklers. And as the sand settles, you just see rising above Lily this massive humanoid-like golem just stands there. And it just starts surveying the area. And you can see this deep red, like, glow coming from the center of what is obviously its head. And Rhino is literally just sitting there, stone cold silent. And he's just, like, he's still holding on to Nim's arm, but he's just, like, squeezing it.
Bruh.
Dude,
Nim ain't
it's
got
gonna
that
cause
much
damage. This is Nim.
Yeah.
Ah, Nim dies from the squeeze of an arm.
I
Perished in
believe
death.
it.
Just breaks around on accident.
Good luck staying quiet after that.
I mean, Nim's good at crying quiet, so why not good at being
Yeah.
in quiet?
So, what do you do?
I
wanna
wonder if
do
the
an
pieces
Arcana
of shit
check
caught up to
quietly.
us.
You're wondering if the pieces of shit caught up to you?
Uh-huh.
Well, they aren't climbing on Lily or anything. You don't know where they are. Yeah, thoughts?
Can I, like, solid snake, prone crawl to the back and see?
If you roll me another good stealth,
Oh boy.
gotta be over 15.
I mean, that means he has to roll like a 4.
Do I trust an 80% chance? I think I do.
And
Hey, Yala, can you give us a +10 to stealth?
that spell has a vocal component, so I would have to yell something first.
Just go Ree!
I will do bend luck if you don't do it now.
Alright, Podgers.
There you go.
You're
You
fine.
know, I don't think I have it in me. So yeah, Samson's gonna, like, solid snake his way to the back as he's looking out for the pieces of shit.
And you see them bringing up the rear. And as they get close, you just hear and you feel the gust of wind as the golem just launches past Lily down the right side and just curves around. Almost looks like it's skating on, well, Samson wouldn't know what skating on ice is, but it's just a smooth, like, Tokyo drift in the sand and just uppercuts through the sand as you just hear a cacophony of squishing, popping noises.
If Nim's arm wasn't being held, she might have flapped.
See, that's the scariest type of thing with these golems. Is not only are they huge and dangerous, but their range of motion is like peak human form. So they just go.
Yeah, no, looking at this thing, it puts shirtless Samson to shame. If it was made out of flesh and meat, it might be something to behold. But
It's still something to behold.
its construct form is literally just like if it
Awe
had,
is a double-edged sword.
what?
Awe is a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So it goes back to just standing and it's just making beep sounds, just beep beep. Beep, beep, beep.
And can I do a quiet Arcana check?
You can roll. Well, does an Arcana check have? No, an Arcana check doesn't have a verbal component.
Nope, it's just sort of doing Arcana check.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Go ahead. What are you Arcana checking for?
See if it has any magic we should be concerned about. Not that I could. Oh, I could tell people. I'm telepathic.
Okay, you can, but I'm gonna point something out. This is a golem.
I don't know what that means. I haven't
Oh,
read
probe
anything
it.
about.
Golems are magical constructs.
Look
Yeah.
for the E on the back of its neck.
Don't probe it.
I mean,
Um.
if you're trying to see if it's magical, it's a golem. If that's all
Yeah.
you're trying to look for, it's a golem. It's
Well,
magical.
no. I was trying to see if there's like any magic we should be aware of.
Look at the
I
back
think
of
we
its
should be
neck.
aware of avoiding it.
Yeah. Or like. Well, yeah, I kind of see your point.
Look for the meth on the back of its neck.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a perception check to see if there's anything of note on it?
I suppose. I can't think of what you're really gonna gain from that, but I won't stop you from rolling dice if you're determined on it.
So I'm not gonna be the one rolling dice, because Nim's gonna talk to Yella telepathically and ask, can you look at this and see if there's anything about it that we should know?
Is it a beast or a monstrosity?
It's neither. It is a construct. It is a golem.
Ooh.
Classification, literally construct. Golems
Yep.
are constructs.
Yep.
Oh wait, that doesn't matter. Slayer's praise can, or no, the other one. Hunter sense can be done on anything. So yeah, if it's still within 60 feet, I wanna see if it has damage, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. Just in case. I mean, I'm hoping we just don't have to fight the thing.
Yeah, same.
So, you try and look if it has any damage immunities. With your hunter senses, well, it looks like it's made out of sand. And though I'm not sure Hyala has ever encountered a golem before, she is quite a smart cookie. So she figures that immunities probably are out, but piercing and slashing might not be effective ways to attack it, considering its body is made up of sand.
I'm surprised it has no immunities.
Yeah. I
Well,
would have thought it would have been
damage
to, like, force
immunities.
damage or water.
Damage immunities, no, but you can tell charming it, trying to exhaust it, frightening it, paralyzing it, petrifying it, and poisoning it probably are all out, considering, well, it's not much of a living being so much as it is just a moving pile of sand. With a red light coming out of its head.
Any vulnerabilities other than the red light?
I never said that was a vulnerability.
I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. You are assuming.
It's what I do.
But you'd be wrong. Was there anything else I was supposed to tell you, or did I cover all the bases?
I think that was it.
Because I covered its resistances and condition immunities. And that was...
Invulnerability. Which I assume it
Which-
has none.
really doesn't have any.
If you splash it with water, it turns into mud.
Man, if only we had something
then
to
you-
splash it with lots
And
of
then
water.
and then you get the mud golem.
Rises out, mud golem dime.
How far away can I send Mage Hand?
Please do not mage hand the
No, okay, so wait, that requires talking, never mind.
Just starts petting it on the head like that meme.
So as you sit there deliberating, it's gonna slowly just start walking. And it's just scanning around. Just moving that head around.
Nim, for once, does not wave.
I was about to say Simpson tips his hat to it. But that'd be probably a really dumb idea.
Maybe.
Thoughts, feelings, concerns? Well, we know where the concerns are.
Don't want
We're
to
just
die.
waiting for it to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just sort of waiting for it to go.
Oh, how tight is
Don't you have
Rhino
a wife
holding
and
Nim's
kids to
arm?
get back to?
Not hard enough to hurt you.
Oh, okay. Even by Nim standards, Nim's pretty weak.
You're not that frail. And no, don't quote your health at me. You're not that frail.
Alright, I just want to check. Nah, Nim will chill.
Oh boy.
I don't like that.
I don't like the teeth breathing.
Oh, hold on.
Alright, I'm gonna start rolling a new character.
I had to look away because some other chat on Discord was calling me, and I come back and there's a D20 rolled with a 2, and I'm just wondering to God what any of you did to get us here.
I didn't see anything!
Excuse me?
So,
Why are we about to get punched by the Sandman?
It's your
No
fault.
one's done anything!
It's not my fault. Look how
You were
sneaky I am.
considering tipping your hat to it. That's bad
And I
enough.
didn't.
So
Yeah,
as
but I wasn't
it's
even considering.
as it's walking, it just starts going. And much to the four of you's chagrin.
Wait, why did the turn order pop back up?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's been up.
No,
Yeah,
it was gone for a...
No, for
Yeah.
me, I never turned it off, so it should have.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was still open for me, but like
mine was
we weren't.
gone.
Yeah, no, I didn't close mine.
Yeah, I didn't close
I
mine either.
can't close mine. I have no
Yeah, me
physical
either.
ability to remove it.
Yeah, no, that was there.
It's the power of the tool. Well, much to the four of you chagrin, as it just keeps making these deep, like, thudding, booming noises. Every time it does one of these little bums, like, you can feel it. Like if a big dog barks, you know how you feel it in your chest?
Well, Rhino, you got this? Peace out.
So, much to your own chagrin, as it does this, you all just hear...
God damn it, Lily.
Really, no.
And the whole thing, as it's turning away, just snaps back and just
To reality.
stays where all of you are. And that's when you get a good look at the orb in the center of its otherwise blank face, just pulsing. And it looks like a big, round crystal.
The orb look vulnerable. At least
I-
compared to the lump of sand.
Not that you can tell, but
Can I Arcana check the crystal?
sure.
We're gonna die anyway, might as well learn something.
Oh, fuck me on a toaster covered in cheese.
Fuck me on
That
a
sounds
toaster
painful for multiple
covered in
reasons.
cheese. Oh my god!
That's
Please!
Big
Someone
toaster?
put that in quotes.
Is it like a
Please! I don't
a
care.
standard toaster?
Okay, look, first I've
Eddie!
never owned a toaster. I don't even know how big these things are in my
Eddie,
life.
I beg you, quote
I'm
her
not
right
doing
now.
it. I'm not doing that.
I do
Also,
not
I'm
care.
like 80% sure I've said this in front of you guys before.
No.
But I'm not the. Listen, you want it quoted, you do it yourself.
Anyway.
Look, the sounds of him doing it himself.
Hold on one sec. I think I can. Is that enough to pass? Wait, hold on. Is that enough to pass or fail? Point is.
That's enough.
Oh, okay, cool. Then never mind.
More toaster.
Poster?
That's getting pinned. Oh, that I have to remember
I all the
that.
pinned comments.
Anyway, you are kind of check it. And you know what? That raises an interesting point in my head.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Oh, really? Roll more die.
So it gets right in front, and that's when you go to Arcana check it. And, well, for better or worse, you feel the
Read its
pulse.
mind.
You feel the pulsing of the crystal, and it strikes you as you felt this before. It almost feels like a heartbeat, but not a heartbeat. Like a
The
rhythmic pulsing.
stones!
Oh.
I'm sorry, say that again?
The stones! The heartbeat stones!
Oh, yeah.
The
But you said
zone
weren't
stones.
eggs!
Yeah. So, yeah, I did say they weren't eggs. So, you feel the rhythmic pulsing, but at the same time, well, it kind of just rears up and just goes. Like it's making a big old error-like sound. And
Error 404, adventure
Does anyone
not
have
found.
something to throw? Away from us?
And Rhino just like looks back at Nim, sees what she's doing, makes the connection between the two as this thing just pulls its arm back, going for a major punch. Lily freaks out. She picks up. The jig is up. You've been found. So, yeah, what are you doing in the next 3 seconds? You got 3 seconds.
Mage armor.
One thing. So you're gonna cast mage armor. Samson, what are you gonna do?
Gun, shoot, core.
Gun, shoot, core. Hyala, what are you going to do?
She'll get her bow out.
You're going to ready the bow. And I know what Rhino's going to do. So, my brain kind of froze on me. What's everybody doing again? You're prepping mage armor. You're going to try and shoot gun, and Yala's going to try and grab bow. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very likely to actually happen. And we kill them.
Lily,
Absolutely, hands down.
Lily rears up. Samson, you go to try and shoot your gun. But Lily's really rearing up, so you don't have a good steady shot because you haven't steadied yourself. Nim, you successfully cast mage armor as you kind of like slide down Lily, and Hyala, you're not doing anything too drastic, so you grab your bow. Meanwhile, Rhino lunges forward, grabs the reins, says a word that you don't fully understand to Lily, and then just like not hits, but slaps her on the side of the head. Not hard
Like
enough
a
to
giddy up.
Yeah, like a giddy up. And Lily just goes, and then you just hear as a huge wad of ink just comes shooting out of from under her tentacles all over the golem. To which the golem just starts making rapid, like, high-pitched squeaking and tinging noises as the area under its feet is covered in a slick goo. And you notice that all of the ink that touches the sand just makes the sand too heavy and it starts falling off its body.
Nice.
And the more it stands, the more it, like, can't move, as it's just losing more and more sand to the ink. And Rhino just looks at you as Lily settles back down, and he just goes, "The Rhino suggests grabbing that cord now!"
And can I use Mage Hand to do it?
Too small.
Can I use Samson's hand to do it?
You could.
Alright, you know what? I'll run through and I'll do like a running jump and try to get the core.
You gonna try and do a running jump off Rhino's back? Just
I
like
guess.
Space Jam for this thing?
I guess if like that's what it takes to get to the face of this thing.
So roll me an acrobatics and a strength. The strength is to grab, the acrobatics is to successfully launch yourself.
So
Hyala, you joining in on this?
If he succeeds, it doesn't. I don't think she needs to.
So
right?
that's a 24 on acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. Good show, Jolly, good show.
And a 14 on strength.
So you managed to jump up, and luckily for you, because its whole front is covered in ink, you kind of slap into it, and you get your fingies just around the core, but it just shrieks.
Can I like use my knife to like pry it, like the Adam knife?
Oh, can Hyala fire an arrow sort of like adjacent to it to try and loosen it?
Well, as you get your fingers just barely around it, you can feel that the sand is, while resistant to pulling things out, it's very soft to itself. I.e., how do I explain it? It's like quicksand almost. Hello, hello?
So
Yes?
pull it out
Okay.
faster.
It was just the bot that died. Okay, we can fix that.
Yeah, it was. We ripped the bot's core out.
Damn, it was Frederick all along.
Also, I think that picture I posted gets the gets the feeling across.
Yeah.
I have considered just adding the music in post, but I feel like the music kind of makes it.
I mean, it does for me.
Yeah. And the music helps me think while I'm doing this. So what were you saying?
You were saying, in fact,
Yeah.
Oh,
Something
uh,
about
because-
quicksand.
Quicksand like.
yes.
Hold on. So he said hold on. Or did I say hold on? Did we both say hold on?
I just hear pressed. I'm like, oh man.
Oh wait, I haven't used it this time actually.
You've been using it this whole
No,
time.
wait, I
repeatedly.
haven't used it yet. It's my
She looks as the
suggestion.
decanter of endless water, so now she's gotta figure out how to use prestidigitation more.
So it can soil an object. Can I soil it with oil specifically?
Soil it. Soil it. Soil
So
it.
like
Could
help distract it
prestidig-
further.
Well, could prestidigitation be used in that way?
It
I'm
says
saying it can soil
can-
things.
Instantaneously clean or soil an object. Well, no, I only can do a cubic foot, but like, can I soil a cubic foot of it? Like, fuck it up more.
What is that going to
A
do?
cubic-
Just use Mage Hand to help me pull.
Or can I? Well, he said Mage Hand's too small.
It doesn't mean it can't help. It just can't do it himself.
Push him. Push.
No,
Alright,
not
then
this.
I'll give you
No.
Mage Hand. Nim sends Mage Hand over
Yeah.
to help
Yeah,
pull.
but I mean, I think it can't pull because if it's too small to wrap around it, it would have to just go and push from the other side.
Okay, you get
That is
behind
why
it
I
and
say
I'll
push.
push.
Well, it'd be pushing against the sand. The only exposed part of that core is right on the front. The rest of it is just encased in, like, skull, for lack of a better word.
So, can I use one of my Atom daggers to try and, like, pry it out?
And Yalla's still gonna fire an arrow because quicksand is easier to pull things out of when it's disrupted.
I
Are
love
you gonna
this. We're all
fire?
doing...
Are you going to fire an atom arrow, or?
Sure. That's probably what she pulled out when this thing came. So.
Can I shoot it with a poison arrow?
It can't be
Wait, poison
poison.
can't be poison.
Poison. That
Forgot.
seems like a waste of poison.
Oh,
Yeah, it would be. I forgot.
Oh,
All
right.
right.
Oh, Shaylin. Oh, Shaylin.
It can be
Can I
sealed in
poison the sand?
I forgot.
Oh. Oh.
I like. Wait,
Since
does
I
it say
rolled
it's
such
still
a
have oil
high
on it?
acrobatics, can I just instead DDT the goal? We're trying to do too many things at once.
So, Nim sends Mage Hand, I don't know where. You're gonna try and hope to dislodge it with the Atom Dagger?
Listen, a third hand is better than two. But
Yeah.
yes. I'll keep my hand, like one hand on it, and try to use the other one to like pry it out.
You stick the knife into the sand, and the sand that touches the knife just falls away.
And so nothing gets out of my nothing gets in my way of doing this then.
You're kind of loosely holding onto it, but the one hand you kind of have like wrapped around it, because you're hanging down and your hand has to be towards the top of it.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to hold on to the core with one hand and, like pull it out with the other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like I'm
feel
trying
the
to
sand
pry an
around
oyster.
it as this thing's freaking out, is trying to like lift your fingies off of the core. You feel the sand just trying to get under, and you keep replacing your fingers. Shallow, you fire how many arrows? 1?
I mean,
10? 12?
it's somewhere between 1 and 5, depending on, like, if the first one does absolutely nothing versus, like, it helps a little bit, but clearly there needs more. So, like, how the first one responds is going to dictate.
Fair enough.
For
These
how
are
many
atom
more get
arrows,
fired.
right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you fire, it sticks in, and then all the sand that would have been holding the arrow in place falls out with the arrow.
Okay. She'll fire a few more sort of just around where the orb is, so that the sand around it that would be holding it is falling away.
And Rhino just takes out, unhooks his mace, and he just swings at the leg, taking out a big chunk of oil-covered sand, and just dropping the golem to its knees.
With the Samson still hanging on.
Yeah, with the Samson's still hanging on, so now it's on one knee, and the oil's still pulling more off. Nim, where's that main chain going exactly?
It should probably help me keep my hand on the core.
Yeah, so it's like probably stationed on Samson's shoulder, and just help pulling.
So it's helping to pull?
Yeah, help pull or push, whichever works. Staying away from the dagger that would make it go
If
away.
something happens that might happen, it'll be real interesting. I can't elaborate further.
All right. So if the dagger keeps like knocking the sand away, then I should eventually get it through to the core, right?
Yeah.
Like shucking an oyster with with a knife.
Yeah, and
Like the
I'll still
core
fire
from the
an arrow.
front is exposed, almost like it's an eye. But
Yeah,
it's just
and I'm
like
trying
in a
to,
socket.
Yeah, and I'm trying to put my knife in the socket and like lever it.
Yeah, and as
Yeah, the socket is being slowly disintegrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're doing that, Rhino is just trying to take out its legs more, which he does, and now it's kind of just sitting flat-bottomed there, freaking out, trying to get out. To which Rhino ushers that same command word, and you're all, everybody in that area, which is just you and Rhino, are gonna get completely covered in ink, but the rest of the golem will also get covered additionally.
Alright, so guess I'll make the deck save.
Save that dex.
You can make it an advantage because your back's to Lily.
Alright.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Your boy did it. I mean, I have goggles on, so I assume that would...
So,
I can't help that.
as you continue to wrestle, now your feet are finally touching the ground again, but you're standing basically in a huge amount of ink slick.
I want to try and, like, pull my chest with the armor closer towards this core as I'm, I'm putting my whole body and dismantling this stupid fucking
You're gonna
thing.
hug it.
Yes.
Also, for the record, the difficult terrain that the ink makes does not affect us.
Oh, because we're in the desert?
Natural explorer, yo.
Does that apply to all of you, or just Kiara?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it.
Damn.
Hold on, let me.
Nice.
I will double check.
Rangers are terrible. What a bad class, as the meme goes.
Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel.
So does it apply to people other than you, or just you?
It says your group.
Ooh. So you gave people...
Pointers.
Well,
Yeah.
Hey, just don't slip, forehead.
So it's all difficult terrain in an area that you're familiar with.
If it's one of my 2 natural explorer trait selected terrain things. I don't know what the terminology
Here's
is.
the question, because I understand the logic, but would that apply considering this is not something that is natural in the desert? This is difficult terrain for another reason.
I mean, it just says natural, like, difficult terrain doesn't affect us while we're there.
While you're there, okay.
Yeah. It's not like, we don't run into difficult terrain that is a part of the desert.
Yeah.
It's that, while in the desert, difficult terrain has no effect.
Wow, rangers are terrible and bad, clearly.
So, yes, but not actually, no.
Yes, but also no.
But also, yes. Especially if they're emotionally stunted rangers, they're terrible.
Well, it's more so the fact of like, wow, that's really good. We're going to be in a desert for probably all of 3 more sessions.
Oh, I just remembered something.
Yeah.
I have to roll on the wild magic table.
What'd you get? Oh, mage armor. God.
Roll on the
I'm
wall.
good.
You're good. Increase that by
Fireball.
1.
Blow up the nearest
It's at
golem.
5.
It's at 5 now?
Mm-hmm. Because
Whoa.
remember, I forgot last time, so we added a charge. I
Woo.
used advantage, that added a charge.
Woo. Woo. Can't
And I
wait.
did the thing earlier that added a charge, plus mage armor. But
Come on, Dan. Roll a 100. Blow up the nearest stone.
Oh my god.
I swear if that's how the
It's going to it's going to do fireball, and it's going to
I will
affect
kill them!
like all of us.
yeah.
You will blow up all of us. Campaign's over, and we have no one to blame than the DM and the wild magic sorcerer.
No, we have no one to blame but the person who got me onto this crazy, horrible idea.
We might survive.
I didn't give you
No.
this idea.
So,
I told
you
you an
guys-
idea, and you're like, I'll just do it this way.
Exactly. No, I followed the
So-
instructions you gave and said, wow, it's so
No.
much better if this also applies to every time. And Shay agreed
So-
on it too.
Which is
I
the
have no
part
choice
that's
in the
going to
matter,
get
it's
us
up to
killed.
you. I don't care either way.
Guys, we have this discussion every week.
Yes, can we
Yes.
please stop?
Yeah,
I'll
because for
stop
some
when we're all
reason-
dead because of it.
Oh my god.
And then by
Point
that
being,
I mean I'll
we're
never
fine.
stop. Now.
Yeah. So
And-
anyway, as you start trying to pull yourself closer to the core, trying to put your pectorals into it, it starts
Get
pushing.
Simpson.
It starts pushing tendrils of sand against your head and your arms.
I mean, it can't stop, so it's going to have to find spot in my arms that don't have Adam armor.
So yeah.
Bracers around the hand and forearm, scale armor on the chest.
It's
So,
just
what if
trying
we
to
just
push
stab
your
the
head.
eye with the magic knife?
Could work. Could be a disadvantage.
What happened now?
What if we stab the eye with the knife? Instead of just
Damn.
trying to remove it.
Hey, I'll try to do that.
Don't.
I guess like stabbing at it is kind of the next best thing if it's trying to like actually just push me off.
And as it's trying to push you off, Rhino's gonna get his hands in there. But he's kind of like, you weren't looking, but he put his hands in the ink and got his whole forearms caked in. He just shoves his arms through the side of this thing's head, trying to get his hands around it.
Part of the water that is the sand.
And as he's got one arm in, he reaches behind him, takes his decanter, and just goes geyser, and just starts hosing down this thing's head. And yeah, no, the rest of the sand comes off its head, and you kind of fall on your big giant, core in your lap. Like, I'd say this thing is probably like
Dead.
2 foot by 2 foot sphere
So it's a
diameter.
So it's a 2 foot diameter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I said words weird. It's a
I'm
2
assuming we should not let this touch sand.
I'm gonna hold it above me. I'm like, woohoo!
And as soon as you,
That was awesome.
as you do that, you just see 2 big arms come between you and it, and just Rhino just grabs it, yanks it out of your arms, holds it close to him, and just reaches his back pocket and slaps a preservation tag on it.
I thought he was gonna
I mean,
yeet
I
it
could
into
have
a
done that, but
Rhino is glad we're alive. Ugh! And he's just gonna drop with a thud into the sand and ink and water.
ooh,
Ah,
let's do that
One-
again.
Rhino's just gonna look at you with a death glare as he just goes to reach for his mace. And he
Can I
just
make
shakes it
a-
at you menacingly.
Jake said a who?
Me?
Samson.
Ah, okay.
The
One
Rhino
who deserves
suggests
menacing
no.
shakes.
Well, we seemed all right. Had that thing on the ropes. All 3 of us.
Nim asked why it has a heartbeat.
You're just like, why does it have a heartbeat?
Yeah, why has it got a heartbeat? Like a pulse. Whatever.
Because it's technically alive. And
Dang.
Rhino will just stick it under his arm and climb back up on Lee.
Wait, why did he stick a Nim asked, why did you have to stick a preservation tag on it?
Preservation tags slow down time. It is how they are able to preserve things. By sticking a tag on a golem core, it's an unconventional method, but I found it can be effective with preventing them from reaccumulating sand.
Nim will check the 3 that she has. Do they still have a pulse?
Yeah. Do you just take these 3 out in front of them?
Yeah, Nim's like, do we have to tag these?
Oh, we got those off the
Zorn.
Zorn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
that.
just looks at him, and his face just goes to a pure, oh fucking course look.
Nim doesn't catch on to that.
In the meantime, Hyalla's gonna call out to Samson and ask if he can collect the arrows.
Yeah, Mei
I
Chan can't
got
do
'em.
that for one.
Well,
Also,
Mei Chan can grab
Nim-
the shaft of the arrows, it just can't touch it by the arrow tip.
Oh yeah, perfect. I don't have to get bent down into the death sand.
Yeah, then Mei
Already
Chan will
done.
grab them.
Well, you
I'm
better
back on
say
the-
that because she still asked.
I'm
Yeah,
back on
no,
Lily.
Nim's like, Mei Chan just
Oh.
got it.
Nim, you mind, he's gonna point to him covered in lily ink.
Yeah, Nim's got you, fam. She cleans Nim and Rhino.
She
She also wasn't
So-
gonna let them on the bug until they were clean.
Well, wait, could she clean Samson off because of his armor?
Oh shit, I can't do anything with that. It's
Oh,
got
you
the-
know-
man.
You know what? That's fine.
Hand
He's like, that's the
clean
best
his
I can do.
armor.
Let's see.
Shake
You
it
know,
off.
Rhino's just...
Is there something that I could put the ink in?
What, lily ink?
Yeah.
I don't know, you got a jar or
We
something?
might have some bottles. Did you pick up any bottles?
Oh, that's right. I splashed the acid vial on the Zorn, but I kept the bottle.
I would suggest rinsing it out since it probably
Yeah.
has residual acid in it.
Yeah, so I'll ask Rhino if I could borrow his canter to wash out a bottle.
And still with this, oh fucking course look on his face. He just, takes it, passes it to you, starts rubbing his temples with the core in his lap.
I
Why?
don't know what that means.
Why?
Yeah, you seem to have some to say.
Why do you children have small golem cores on you?
We found it out of a Zorn that attacked us back in the savannah.
Not
A
the
black
friendly
Zorn.
ones, though.
Yeah.
Cores. Why would it be
Feel like he's the disappointed uncle.
Why is he still surprised by these things?
Yeah, no, like
everywhere we go, it's like, how are you alive, number one, and number two, what misfortunes do you bring with you?
He's holding out a little more hope, given all the good things he heard from Rosebeard.
Well,
yeah, this is
actually-
us.
And
Get used to
Yeah.
it, bub.
we're a hot mess.
This would exactly explain why it didn't just immediately move on. It was looking for those. Allow the rhino to explain.
Oh, good.
Despite the monstrosities that exist, there is an ecosystem. And it goes something like this. Zorn like to eat gems. The golems are made of gem. Because
Yeah, we got
as
that
he
part.
picks up the core, this is really just the golem. Zorn eat this, and in their stomachs will dissolve and break apart into smaller gem scrap, and those. Given that amount of time, golems that are still around will hunt down those Zorn via that pulse that I'm sure that you just asked about, and they will attempt to liberate those so that those cores can become new golems. It's like the most violent form of a symbiotic relationship you can imagine, and of course you're carrying around 3 of them.
So, do the big cores turn into multiple smaller cores?
And then the smaller cores will eventually become the big cores, and that's how the golems sustain their population.
Oh, that's
Well-
kind of cool.
I don't want to point out that Samson has 7 of these.
I want the big one.
You have them already.
No, I'm talking to Rhino. I want the big one.
Yeah, just keep it. Give me the smaller ones.
Yeah, you can have her smaller one.
Give me all of the smaller ones you're carrying.
Aw, but they're so cool. Besides, we need it for our cover.
What cover?
Well, the rest of the world doesn't know that we're here for what we're here for. They think we're here on a biological expedition and not to see Zanzibar. So if we don't come back with proof that we've actually met things on this island, then we'll probably get charged with treason and killed the second we step on shore.
The rhino is already predicting that your parlay with Zanzibar will throw any kind of wrench into what you're already expecting. The rhino, however, would like to live. Please hand over all smaller cores.
So wait, Nim didn't say that I have the cores, did she?
Yeah, but you've implied you have more.
You implied it by saying you can have all of her cores.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I thought he knew that I had some, because why the hell would he ask me for them?
Well, he wasn't asking you, he was asking you 3 in general. Please hand over all small cores.
Alright, I will hand him 2 of them.
And then we'll hand 3, and I can get rid of them.
So wait, out of a total of 7, you hand him 2, she hands him 3, so...
Mm-hmm.
You're each, like, holding one back.
No, I only had 3. I had 1 of
Oh.
each color.
Samson's being the greedy go.
Yes.
Yeah,
And this
here you
is
go.
all
That's
of
all
them.
we got. It's all we got.
Oh.
Roll me a deception check.
Hey, Nim?
Oh, you want me to have more charges on my wild magic table? Okay.
Yes. You listen, you seem self-sufficient and trying to blow yourself up. I'm not holding back anymore.
I'm not trying to. That will kill them.
So then, listen, this is what happens with the wild magic.
You're gonna die because
Well,
you
you
didn't want to
don't-
give up orbs.
You don't have to roll. You could just leave him to his fate. That's the question. Are you going to risk your life for Samson's lie?
Samson lies and Nim cast fireball on herself.
Yeah, you are not. You are a strong, independent young woman. You don't have to be.
Nim is not independent.
That's not true.
What?
You're Nim.
You don't have to be prestidigitation on tap.
First off, Nim is not strong nor independent.
Well, Hyala did give you a speech earlier. You could write off that. It's within character.
Listen,
Well-
if speeches have not helped anyone during this dead goddamn arc, okay?
That's true.
Okay,
The
so-
only speech that would have worked never got heard.
So, how are you like conveying to Nim that she needs to help you with this?
Silently?
Nim's not gonna get that shit.
Well, I can't do it loudly.
Escala can confirm she
I'm-
won't get that.
Okay, how about this? I'm
Yeah.
going to hand him 2, and I'm going to say, that's all of them, right, Nim?
Well, Nim doesn't know how many you handed him.
Oh
She's
my
like,
god!
you're handing them over and Nim wouldn't know.
Yes, I
And
handed.
it's like,
Okay, I hand it out, palm open, so the world can see.
I cast fireball to end this conversation.
So the
That goes-
world can see.
Nim
So
goes,
Prin and Celeste can see that I'm handing them over, and I go up to Nim because Nim should know how many we found and how many I had.
Nim goes, yeah.
God, what charisma do you have?
Very well. And Rhino is just going to take all the cores you gave him, and he's just going to throw them as far as he can
I feel like that's not a good idea, but whatever.
out into the sands.
And that'll make more golems, which will turn into big. So wait, do they turn like really small when the sand hits?
Oh.
And you can run a perception at advantage since you saw where they land.
Sure. As he just threw a bunch of beans.
But
I
it's
make
a
one as well?
beans. Yeah, sure.
Man, we should have kept him to feed Zorn that we come across.
Yeah.
Hey, it's almost like I still have some, so shut up. God. For once in this campaign, will you guys try to imagine that I'm not trying to get you
Well,
killed?
you just
No.
trust me.
I
For
refuse.
once in this campaign, feels like a statement that he has to say a lot in
Nim?
D&D.
Does not get social cues. How many times do I have to tell you guys?
Is Yala joining in on the Perception Fest?
I guess, yeah.
I wanna see what happens with these little golems.
Oh, damn.
Yella knows the cycle of life for golem.
So they all just land in the sand. Thump, 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 thump.
Double ass not 20.
And
I hate it.
Nim
Why can't I
and
do that on good rolls?
Nim and Samson look, and the orbs just kind of sit there and they do nothing. Hyala goes to look, and the first one she looks at kind of starts to spin in the sand a little, and you just see like a little sand shell form around it, and tiny little hands pop out, and he just
Aw.
looks around and it starts scuttling off into the distance. Just
Aw. Oh, look at the baby.
So wait, we do see that, or like me and Nim don't?
when you both look at it, nothing happens. The second Hyala looks at it, one of them just takes to form and forms like a little sand shell around the entire core, and then little like chubby sand arms pop out of the sphere, and it kind of just cactoid runs, you know, from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Cactar.
Yeah,
definitely.
cactoid
Thing I
runs
mentioned.
through
That
the
thing I
sand.
mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it just
Never
like,
says they're Totini.
yeah, it goes.
Yeah, they're Tostinos.
Yeah, it's at a super fast speed, so it's gone.
That reminded me of that,
Oh,
what is it?
that's really
Why Not
cool.
Both
So-
commercial?
So just to, yeah, so Hyella's double nat basically gave the gift of life to one of the horse.
Much like
Oh,
how
yeah.
my bad rolls
Second child.
destroyed.
Destroyed.
Do I get to name it? Can it be my child?
Come back, my child.
Yeah, you can name it if you want. We've got Jerry, so what's this one gonna be called? Kuno, normal Kuno clone.
Not cool. Let me check something. No, not that one.
Great. Now I want a picture of teeny tiny sand golem.
I want the picture of a tiny sand golem to just have, like, cat features.
It's like a cat head, but there's just arms coming out of the temples and legs coming out of the base of the skull.
Oh, that's horrifying. It takes the form of a horse with human hands.
No.
Alright, goodbye birthday 20.
Oh my god. So while Kiala's doing that, Nim's gonna ask if she can look at the core. She's asking Samson.
Oh, the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hand it over.
Yay. Nim is gonna examine it.
Right, examine it. I thought that was a dual nat arcana check. But no, that was just Kiala giving life to things.
Damn.
She is a mother after all.
Heck yeah.
So I
Quit
am gonna
doing
do an
that shit
arcana
in
check.
public.
Let's see.
What did you say? Hold on, what?
I said quit doing that shit in public.
Since Nim is familiar with these, can she get advantage?
Nice try. No.
Okay.
It's a reasonable request.
You don't have enough experience. Looking at something once or twice does not give you experience.
Nim and Celeste examined this for a few days.
Well, you know what? Celeste ain't here, so get over it.
It was. Nim also did so.
Celeste left for cigarettes 3 days ago. So Rano, this might be the stupidest thing I might have ever said before, but, and I mean this in the best way, is sometimes I go for a record. There ain't no records of domesticating these golems, are there?
And you kind of just see him slowly turn his head, and he's just got this look, this slack-jawed look of like, what would possess you to want to do any of this?
Listen, I like animals, as you can see, and then I'll reach down and I'll pet Lily.
Nim will go, actually, it's a construct.
But it looks out for its own kind. It has an ecosystem, as he said, so I'm just wondering if there's a chance.
Its name is Panak.
Panak!
Are we gonna see Egg start up with Panak?
Panak. I hope I get to see him again.
So,
He'll show up at the end of the game. Just their own very own golem just slides in and just uppercuts.
The original Golem lore is to defend people.
It is true. That's why I kept telling you to look for the meth on its neck.
the meth?
That's why I want to name one, so that maybe that can like bind it to
I could explain it to you, but it'll take time.
Well, we're coming
So
to
that's
the end
after
of this
session talk.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm just imagining when the party's, you know, really about to die, it's really do or die time, all of a sudden you just see sand coming into the room. And then from the floor just busts out this really ripped sand golem just striking a Pillar Man pose. Awaken, Panak!
You hear Smash Mouth in the background, he just kicks open the door. Somebody once told me!
Go straight into a Borderlands, like, cutscene intro. Panak!
I thought you were going to say go straight into a barbarian rage!
Heck yeah.
Just a giant tabaxi-shaped sand golem.
Oh, so this is what you meant when you were rolling up a new character.
Ah. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh, but, God, what was even the question? Oh, can you tame them and something?
Yeah, can you tame them?
So, Rhino's just gonna look at you, and he's just gonna throw the reins at you, get up, go across Lily, and just lay down.
Oh,
The Rhino is ceasing consciousness for now. Please do not arouse the Rhino unless there is imminent death approaching or the Rhino's targets are in view. Good night.
You're the only one who knows when imminent death is approaching.
Yeah. We'll wake you.
Okay, so Rhino's going to bed on the back of Lily, right?
Yeah, no, he's had enough for one day of babysitting. He's just
Okay.
deciding to go lose consciousness.
So, we still have the sand cackler, and I didn't give back his decanter of endless water. So we just roll him off right now.
You got a better
He will
chance
catch
of
the
getting
murder
smacked
fly.
with a mace.
Everyone lift on 3.
You think that Nim could live?
Yella can lift
Yes,
it up and
we
can't
get it. Nim has a low strength, and yet somehow it was never the lowest strength in the party.
Yeah.
Well, Nim also has
Because-
never tried to pick up anything, so.
Bullshit! You have definitely drank
You
from
picked
cups
up-
before.
You picked up books, nerd.
Well,
lift. At the
Ah.
library.
Nim did.
Where do
That's
you
it.
work out? The
The
library.
Gotta flex those brain muscles.
So,
Dictionaries are heavy.
you're on your own for like dinner tonight.
Why would we need dinner? We haven't had This is the best we've eaten this whole trip. I think we'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. And since it is in the afternoon and nighttime will be approaching, unless there's anything else you want to do, roll me those fate die.
You haven't got anything else?
No, I've got the rings to take care of Lily. Actually, can I do... This is gonna sound stupid, but that's fine because I'm playing Samson. Can I try to mimic that command word he gave to Lily? To make her
Toss
ache.
me a coin to see if you even remotely understood what he said. And then we'll
Aha.
go from there.
Alright.
You think you understand enough of the word. Roll me animal handling to see if you can reproduce it. You say word at Lily, and you just hear go.
He spits out
Baba
something.
Booey?
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey? And Lily just... well, I'll ask him about it later.
Unless we roll them.
Can I keep rolling to see if I remember it?
No.
Aw.
So yeah, roll me those end of day fates. $20, 31?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. Alright. I think that's a good place to call it.
All right.
Good times.
Uh,
Nope.
All right.
shutting the
But he felt
recording now.
fireball casted on her.